So, you know that cybersecurity training is absolutely critical. But how do you convince the people who control the budget to actually invest in it? Well, that's what we're going to tackle today. Let's break down exactly how to build a winning case for strengthening your company's most important security layer, its people. All right, let's kick things off with a number that's guaranteed to get everyone's attention: $4.45 million. According to the latest reports, that's the average cost of a single data breach in 2023. This isn't just some tech issue. This is a massive multi-million-dollar business risk, and that is a language every board member understands. So where is that massive risk coming from? You might be surprised. A staggering 74% of those breaches involve the human element. We're talking about an employee clicking a malicious link, accidentally misconfiguring a server, or falling for a clever phishing scam. It just goes to show, you can have the best technology in the world, but it can all be bypassed by one single human mistake. Okay, so that brings us to the big question, right? How do you take this people problem and turn it into a business case that leadership can't possibly ignore? Let's build that argument right now, step by step. The trick here is to completely reframe the conversation. You see, this isn't just about patching a vulnerability. This is about building an entirely new kind of defense. We're talking about turning your employees from your biggest potential risk into one of your most powerful security assets. I mean, that's the whole point of security awareness training, isn't it? It's about making this simple but profound shift. Suddenly, every single person in the company becomes a proactive part of your defense, a sensor for potential threats, actively protecting the organization instead of accidentally putting it at risk. And when you look at the before and after, the difference is, well, it's night and day. Before training, you've got a situation where maybe a third of your employees are just one click away from causing a major incident. But after good, consistent training, you've got an army of defenders who not only avoid the traps, but actively report them, making your entire security system stronger. And we have hard data to back this up. It's not just a nice idea. One major study found that after a year of consistent training, the click rate on phishing tests plummeted from over 30% all the way down to just 4.1%. That's not just a small improvement, that is a massive reduction in risk. And that's a metric that really gets a boardroom's attention. But listen, it's about way more than just stopping clicks. For the board, these are the points that really hit home. First, training is often a requirement to meet major compliance standards, stuff like SOC 2 or HIPAA. Second, it can literally lower your cyber insurance premiums. Third, it helps you close deals faster. A huge number of companies report sales slowdowns because clients want to see proof of security training. And finally, of course, it protects the one thing you can't put a price on: your reputation and the trust your customers have in you. Okay, so you've got the why down, you understand the benefits. Now for the how. How do you actually package all of this into a formal proposal that's clear, persuasive, and gets that yes? Here's the blueprint. Your proposal really needs to hit these 6 key points. You start by defining the risk, but in their terms, dollars and cents. Then outline the specific training program you're recommending. Be totally transparent about the costs. Then the big one, show them the return on that investment. Be ready to handle their objections, and finally, tie the whole thing back to the company's big picture strategic goals. And this is probably one of the most important things to get across. When you talk about ROI for security, you have to frame it correctly. It's not about making money, it's about saving money. The return on this investment is measured in the catastrophic multi-million-dollar breaches you prevent. So when you lay it out like this, the choice becomes pretty obvious, doesn't it? On one hand, you have a predictable, totally manageable annual investment. On the other, you have the risk of a completely unpredictable, potentially catastrophic financial loss. Framed this way, investing in training isn't just a good idea, it's the most fiscally responsible decision you can make. Okay, your proposal is locked and loaded, but don't forget, how you sell it in the room is just as important as what's written in the document. So let's run through a few tips to make sure your pitch is a success. First off, respect their time. Send a short summary before the meeting so they can come in prepared. When you start, hit them with the why right away to grab their attention. Use a story, maybe about a competitor or a realistic scenario, to make the risk feel real, not just like a bunch of numbers. Keep it short and sweet. Seriously, 10 to 15 minutes, tops. And finally, be crystal clear about exactly what you need from them. And if you remember only one thing about presenting, make this leave. Leave the tech speak at the door. You're not there to give a lesson on malware variants. You're there to talk about business impact. So speak their language. Frame everything in terms of risk, return on investment, and compliance. That's the language of the boardroom. You should actually hope they ask questions. It means they're engaged. So when they ask, how will we measure success? You're going to talk about phishing test results and fewer security incidents. When they ask about the return, you'll talk about the losses you're avoiding. And yeah, you got to be straight with them when they ask if it's an ongoing cost. The answer is yes, because the threats never stop evolving and neither can our defenses. All right, let's zoom out for a second, because getting this approved isn't just about getting a budget for a training program. It's about getting a commitment to fundamentally shift the company's culture for the better. See, the end goal here isn't to just check a box for compliance. The goal is to build something that lasts. It's about weaving security into the very DNA of the company, creating a place where everyone feels a shared sense of responsibility for protecting it. And that is what a security-aware culture really is. It's not a project with an end date. It's a permanent mindset. It's an environment where doing things securely is just second nature to everybody. And when you get there, you haven't just built a defense, you've built a genuine strategic asset that makes the whole company stronger. So as you get ready to walk into that boardroom, this is the question to leave them with. Our people can be our biggest liability, but with the right commitment, with the right investment, we can transform that liability into our single greatest security asset.